afternoon, AMP, young musicians and friends. My name is Lolly Newsome, and I'm excited to welcome you all to today's AMP online masterclass sponsored by the Chestnut Family Foundation. This class covers scales and techniques for advanced violin with Grace Kim. This is part 2 of a 4-part series. We will have 2 more classes with Grace on May 12th and 19th, both at 5 p.m. And if you have any questions throughout the class for Grace on anything, feel free to put them up in the chat. She may also ask some open-ended questions for people in the chat, so feel free to use the chat function to answer those questions. And if you have any questions throughout the class, feel free to let us know. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Lolly. Hi, everybody. My name is Grace, and I'm so happy to be here with you again on this beautiful day. So today, well, last week we talked about tone production, how to play, make a beautiful sound. We talked about where to play in your sounding points. So I want to build upon those ideas and concepts. And I hope you've been going through that video, and I'd like to build upon them and move on to scales. So just to briefly talk about open strings again, I know it sounds super easy. Oh, it's open strings, but there's so much you can do to concentrate on while you're doing open strings, because you don't have to think about anything else except for making a beautiful tone. And so with that beautiful tone, I want to move on onto scales and shifting and vibrato. So first of all, when we place our fingers on our violin or when we hold our bow, we all know at this point you don't want to have like a chokehold or play like the Hulk. You want to be able to, for your bow hand and your violin hand to be very relaxed. One of my friends showed me this trick, and I thought it was really helpful. So I can't do this right now in person, but you can do this with yourself at home. Your bow hand should be firm enough, but supple and relaxed enough that I could come to you and remove your bow hold, your hand. So I know last week we practiced finding our bow holds and finding our most comfortable position. So why don't we go ahead and just do a really quick recap. Let's just tap some fingers. It's always helpful. And we won't go through everything, but all right. So I want to talk about vibrato really quickly. So vibrato should be something to use to enhance our playing and our sound. We want it to be a vehicle for us to express ourselves. So sound is coming out. And something that's very important is that you always want to vibrate up to the pitch. Maybe I'll make it like this. You want to vibrate up to the pitch and go down, relax, and come up. You never want to go past the sounding pitch. So to show you an example of that, I'll play my 3rd finger on the A string. That's a D. Okay. So that's just a pure, simple D on the A string. So what I want to do is vibrate underneath the pitch. I'm doing it really slowly right now. And then in real time. So what you're not hearing is going over the pitch. So that really augments your pitch and your sound center. We strive to have really good intonation. And because we're humans, our ears, we like to pick up on the higher pitch. So then that highest pitch ends up to be where we think that your intonation point is. I want to go through some really quick exercises that we can do to have a really nice vibrato. First of all, we can do something without the violin. So I'm going to have a close-up on my hand. This is my left hand. I'll start with my 1st finger. This joint right here, this joint right here, the 1st joint, that's called your distal joint, and you want to open that up. So you can isolate each finger, and you can do this while you're walking, while you're taking the bus, while you're in the car, while you're talking to a friend. The pinky is kind of hard. I can do it by myself on the pinky, but sometimes you might want to do it with your third finger if that helps you. It's okay. And then once you get comfortable doing that, I know it kind of looks like alien fingers, you kind of want to set a rhythm to it, because any technique that we can do at a certain rhythm, that becomes our technique. So it's not just willy-nilly, but I hope this is going well for you guys at home. All right. After we do that, you can try, so this is a really little motion. Another motion you can do is knock on something. So you can knock on your peg actually, but just very lightly. So that opens up that joint, and you want to be relaxed. And you want to have a really relaxed feeling, so that, you know, when you do this thing in class, you want to have a very relaxed hand when you're doing that. Another exercise that we all really like to have is playing your finger. So let's put our third finger on the A string, and let's go down. So what's going to happen is this finger is going to relax down, and it's going to come up. So we're not sliding and moving down. What's happening is that when our third finger is placed, the skin that has contact with it stays in the place that you want it to have, and then it pulls back. Your bone pulls back, but not your skin, does not move away from it. So let's try that all together, and we're going to do one oscillation back. Okay, and then after you do one, you can increase it to two. Also, I was watching different videos about how people teach vibrato, and I came across a really nice video by Nathan Cole, who's a fantastic violinist. And I noticed that he did this differently. He did it in a way that the oscillation was very fast. It wasn't da dee da, but it was da ya dum. And I thought that was really helpful, because I think it keeps your finger more fluid and relaxed instead of all right. I'm wondering if anyone would like to demonstrate any of these examples that we've done, especially the wiggling sound. Maybe we can do 4 in a bow, and making sure that we don't pass the cap of the pitch, not going above. Would anyone like to demonstrate?
We have one 9th grade student, Cameron.
Okay.
And then Julian, I see Julian's hand, so Julian can be next.
Okay.
Hey, Cameron. Hi.
Hello.
All right. Oh, Cameron, can you, we see your screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you undo the screen? Or can you stop sharing your screen?
Oh.
You know how to do that?
I think so. There you go. Did that work, or?
No, hold on.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. That's it. That's good. Good.
Hi, Cameron.
Hello. How are
Good to
you?
see you? I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well.
All right, it's good to see you. So let's try to do 4 oscillations in a bow, and just to demonstrate again. Let's try to do 4, okay? Good. Okay, so I can actually see a little bit of your hand, and I'm really happy that I can see your left hand. So if you want to scooch over to your right side, actually, your whole body, torso. Yeah, a little bit more. Great. Okay, so I can actually see that your hand is curving this way. So you want it to go backwards. It's like you have a magnet in your fingers, and it wants to go to the scroll. So it's like there's someone here who's pulling your hand this way. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's try that. And if you want to do it with your other hand too, just to get that feeling first, that's always very helpful. So push away. Okay. So you're kind of going sideways from back to forward. So let's just do that motion first. So like D to almost D flat, back to D. Good, okay. Now what I see is that your motion back forward is a little strong. So let's go easy on the jump back. So, okay, and use your ears. Good, now let's put 50% less motion on. Let's try that one more time. Good, that's getting better. Okay, so I think what you want to do is you want to make it happen so much, which is often the case with a lot of students. So actually you want to use less energy than you're doing. So I can see that I'm exaggerating what you're doing. That's not a good angle. Okay. Does someone else want to demonstrate, Lolly? Thank you, Cameron.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
Okay, yeah, Julian's here.
Okay, hi, Julian.
Hey, Julian.
So is it okay if I do like first finger B? Like, is it okay if I
Yeah,
start
you
like
can
first?
pick any.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm actually loving that I'm seeing different demonstrations. So what you want to do is make sure that this wrist goes back, but not that it knocks this way. So it's your finger, this knuckle that would relax backwards, but you don't want this wrist action to happen. It will happen a little naturally, but it's happening a little bit more. So why don't you try knocking actually from this position? Can you knock? You're literally knocking your pegs. And can I see your almost your scroll? Can you scooch over? Actually, no, if you could scooch over to the right side and turn around so I can see. Yeah. No, rotate your body the other way.
This way? Wait,
The other way.
oh.
Yeah, okay. Like that. So I can see your left hand. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so similar thing is happening. I think you really want it to happen that you're using a lot of energy. So you actually want to use less energy. What I'm seeing is that your finger coming up to the pitch, this is how you would play in first position, right? When you come up, your finger is almost coming over. So this is my normal. You don't want to go over it, right? So let's find that pitch further. Good. Okay, and I want you to use that image that your skin is sticking on the fingerboard like a tree frog. But when you extend your finger back or relax it, only the bone inside is moving. Can you try that? let's try, just take it easy and go at a nice mezzo piano. Good. So when you practice this, I want you to try to have the feeling that everything is playing in mezzo piano, like your bow hand and your finger hand, your left hand. So try to almost move like a slug. Very relaxed.
Well, can I try it on third finger actual?
Yeah, you can try that. Good. Can you make smaller movements? Can you make smaller movements? You're doing a good thing. Yes. That you're moving totally in the right direction. Do you feel that you're moving less right now?
I do.
A little bit, right? You're moving, you're having quieter motions. Yeah, so it's a very minor motion. So it's easy to overdo it. And I think that's what tends to lead that really bouncy kind of vibrato. But try to have smaller, controlled movements. Like, you don't want to move so far down. That kind of makes you feel seasick, right? Small measured movements. Okay. Thank you, Julian.
Thank you.
Talking about, let me just.
All right. So I would like to go into our scales now. And I will talk about shifting while we're going through our scales. So I know that as you guys are getting ready for All State, we have several scales on the docket. We have G major, A major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, and C major. So I am just wondering if anyone would be brave enough to play for us any of these scales.
Landon's the next person with his hand up.
All right, Landon, please tell us what scale you're going to play for us. Yes.
I just realized my mic is muted. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
So just to clarify, the scale is a major?
So the instructions that I heard were for grades 11 and 12 orchestra, it's B flat major, C major, G minor, A minor.
Okay.
But if you have prepared another scale that you feel really good about,
Oh no, it's fine. I can play
please.
with
Maybe
Okay.
If you want to pick one. And Landon, I can also pull up. So I've got these scales, and I've also got the All-State scales. Is there one, Grace, that you want to read off of?
The all-state scales would be great to read off of.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Cheers.
I can do C major was on there.
Let's see.
Uh-huh.
Let me know, Landon. Can you see the screen? Are you on your phone or a computer?
Yeah, I'm on my phone, but if you just tell me the name, then I'll be able to play it.
Cool. Which one? These are your options. Can you read this?
Yes, this is G major.
You want to do G major?
Sure.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Sorry. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Landon. I love your tone production. That sounded nice and powerful.
Thank you.
And even. I liked how you're using a lot of bow also. All right, so some comments that I have for you to make this better. So when I see these scales on an audition, I feel like a lot of things are portrayed about you as a player through even just listening to your scales, even before going into etudes or pieces. So something that I think could make your scale even better and build upon that really nice tone that you have. Something really simple off the bat is perhaps playing with a metronome. So I like the speed that you started. It was probably at around 80, and then it eased into 60. So you want to keep playing and subdividing inside. And another thing I was thinking about is intonation and shifting. So on the whole, a lot of things are going really well. And what we want to do is consistently have everything go really well. So I know that right now it says quarter note to 100. Maybe we can start at like 70.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let's, do you have a metronome?
I have one on my laptop.
Okay.
And you said to set it at 70?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, let's just go ahead and set it at 60 for right now.
60, yes, ma'am.
60. Okay. I personally like to practice scales at 60, 2 beats per bow. So I go double slow. And then I accelerate through doing the scales. And what I want to do is shift in tempo. And then another thing is intonation. So let's talk about intonation real quick. I thought your intonation was really good going from the beginning, and it felt really strong, and I felt like you were doing a really good thing of singing inside your head, all the way up and all the way down. And then the last octave, I felt like the intonation just got slightly fuzzy. And I know that's something that is super easy for you because it's in first position and you did it really well going up. So why not have the same thing coming back down, right? So keep on singing all the way down. Let's try that one more time. And do you want to set your metronome on?
Yes, ma'am. I have it right here.
While you do this.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. I hope as you continue to practice your scales that you practice it with a metronome. Does it feel a little different practicing with a metronome?
Not really, just a small bit.
Not just a small difference? Okay, well that's really great that it doesn't feel terribly odd. I would love for you to continue working with a metronome and bringing it up to quarter note equals 100. While I have you, do you think you could play G minor melodic scale?
Yes, ma'am.
And if it is, okay, fabulous.
All right, I pulled it up on the screen for Landon or for anybody watching.
Okay. You want me to turn on the metronome for this as well?
Sure,
Okay.
that would be great.
Yes,
do you want to make it any slower, or are you fine?
I'm okay here.
Awesome, okay.
my bad.
Yeah, we worked into. Awesome, Landon, that is sounding really good. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I just want to talk briefly about different shifting things with the rest of the group. When we are shifting up, we want to make sure that our finger and thumb is coming up. And as you guys notice, as you play your 3-octave scales, your fingers get more and more cramped. There's less playing, there's less playing space as you go up. And Lolly, would you mind just briefly bringing up that fingerboard spacing?
Yes, I can.
PDF.
Let's see. Sorry.
That's okay. As she's bringing that up, yeah, so as you can see, it gets, in first position, we have a lot of spacing, and third position feels good. And as we get to 5th and above, we can feel that the spacing gets even tinier and tinier. And when we're in 7th and 8th, it kind of feels like we're putting pancakes on top of each other, right? Because it's so small, the intervals. Thank you. So a brief note about shifting that I'd like to talk about to make scales tidier, especially around shifting, is when we're shifting up, we want to move with our finger and thumb. So. So we want to make sure when we're shifting up the scale, up the fingerboard, our finger and thumb is coming up with us, along with our arm. And when you're shifting down, you want to lead with your thumb and shifting down that way and using guiding notes. I'm just wondering if anyone would like to play A major and A minor scale for us.
Let's see. Julian raised his hand.
Awesome. Okay.
All right.
And just a note, when we're demonstrating, if we could play so that, I don't know if you guys can see me right now.
Oh. So something like, well, can you see me? Hello?
We can see and hear you.
Oh, okay, okay.
It would be great if you could play showing your arm and your leg lengthwise.
I'm sitting down, I'm sorry. So, something like this.
Not like this, but going the other way so I can see your face with the violin. Yeah. And if I could see your hand also. So keep rotating in that way.
So, like this.
Perfect. Yep, yep.
So A major?
Yes, yes, please. Awesome. Thank you, Julian. So what I like to do when I'm playing the scales is kind of like I'm singing inside my head each octave. And I think you got caught up a little bit in position as you got down. So another thing that is helpful is to know what position we're shifting up to. So I think you have some music in front of you that you're looking at, right? The scales?
Yeah, I have a book that me and my private teacher use.
Perfect. Perfect. So whatever fingering you use, you want to stay pretty consistent to that or know what finger patterns you're going to use going up the scale. So, so just singing each scale, each octave inside your head. So. That first octave. I'm going to third position. Here's the second octave. And I shifted to sixth position. Going to third. Are those the fingerings that you're using, Jillian, or something else?
Let me see. Let me just check. Well, in the on the second octave G, on the G sharp, well, I'm going the first position.
Okay. Okay. So let's go on to this. Let's go in the scale now. Let's play your first octave, and then go to the second one. Okay. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay, so we are using the same finger pattern for shifting. I thought this one was better than your first one. I felt like you were really hearing your octaves. Were you kind of concentrating on those as like little landmarks? Like, here's one A, here's the second A, here's the third A, right? Yeah, I feel like that really helps. And I want to use this moment. Thank you for demonstrating. I want to use this moment to talk about your shifting going up. Okay, so when we go. I want to do just that much with you. So what I'm doing when I'm shifting, if you can see my fingers, I'm getting my first finger relaxed and relieved and ready to shift.
So.
Good. So that was really clean and really fast, actually. That was great. But if anyone is out there watching this and you want to build that scale up or shift up, it's okay to make that that glissando or sliding kind of sound that you're shifting to, because you want to. I think what helps when you're shifting is to be able to hear all the notes leading up to the shift. So. Right? And then you're going to speed that up gradually. And if you notice, my hand and my thumb are coming. You don't want to leave your thumb behind. So make sure this whole thing is working as a unit. You want to think of it as like one vehicle, and not like leave a tire behind or a muffler behind or something like that. So let's just try that shift really quickly again, a little slowly. Good. Okay. Let's move on. So let's start here. So we're going to go in third position. Going into the sixth, right?
Mm-hmm. So do you want me to start on the A?
Yep.
No.
Perfect. Okay. So what I would like you to do, Julian, is for demonstration purposes, could you slow down your shift into sixth position? Let me show you. So I'm lining my first finger up. Good. Yeah. Cool. So we'll only work on going up. So now that you know, like you generally know how much you want to shift from third to sixth, let's try that again. And what I want you to do is also start to rotate your hand above and maintain a good hand frame. And maybe slow down as you approach the note. So what I mean is when you shift quickly, but as you approach the note, it's getting close, try to slow down a little bit. So aha, that's where I'm landing. Let's try that. Cool. Now, so we're only going to deal with going up right now. So now I feel like your shift there is sounding better. I feel like you fast-tracked and went really quickly. When you get to sixth position, I would love for you to keep your first finger down because we are not shifting for the last A. We're actually making a finger extension, right? We're using the pinky. Mm-hmm. On the G, and then it extends to the A and it comes back down to the G, right? So you want to keep your hand frame still there. So I'm keeping my fingers down. So that when I come down, and that slide down was to show a guiding note back to third position. Can we try that much slowly? So starting from the third position on the E string. Great, that sounded a lot better. Do you feel better about playing up there?
I do. Mm-hmm.
I think it sounded really good this last time. So the more time you spend up there also, the more comfortable you're going to be. I would recommend practicing with a guiding finger or guiding note coming back down. So when we're here, that note from the D. So that the reason why the guiding note is so helpful is so that we have a position we come back to and we don't go past what we need to go. And the same thing is shifting up. When you're practicing, you want to generally know where you're going, into what position, and as you approach the note, this is when you're practicing, you want to slow down until you find that note and you sit on it. And what you want to do is practice just those shifts, isolating them several times, maybe 5 times slowly, and slowly increasing the speed. Could you please go from the top, coming back down, and if it's more comfortable for you, you can start from the 3rd position.
So with my guiding finger?
Yeah, so you go from good. So I can hear that already going back down from 3rd position to the 1st position. That's helping you. I thought you had like more accurate intonation that time. That's awesome. Okay. Would you like to try the A minor melodic scale? If you do not have that, I'm happy to play that for the class.
I have it. Let me let me look at my like my scale real quickly. I got it.
Put it up on here too.
I got it. But oh my gosh. Can I start from the can I start from the A on the
Yep.
3rd octave?
Uh-huh.
The shifts
It's
aren't
okay.
right.
It's okay. I'm just gonna play that really quickly. Thank you for playing that. So what I want to do again is repeat the octaves in my head. So knowing the finger patterns of like which fingers have a whole tone between them or a semitone in between them. So I'm going to take a break here to say I am keeping my 1st finger anchored. So if you know that you're, yes?
What fingering are you using for the starting from the A going down in the scale?
I am using the bottom numbers on the A minor melodic scale that's on the screen share. So I'm going from the 3rd octave, from 3rd position into 5th. So 3rd position, shift to 5th, shift. So again, so 1, 2, and shift to 1, shift again. Okay.
Yeah, but like going down, are you using 3, 2, then going back
I
down
understand.
3?
Going down.
Yeah.
4. So 4, 3, 2, 1, I shift down to third position and go on the fourth finger.
Because- yeah, weird, because I go down on the E, in my to use third finger, then 2 1, then go down to third position 2 1 4, 3 2 1 2 1 4, etc.
That's okay. Whichever finger pad, like, I mean, even in this Galamian scale book, there's 2 fingerings written, right? There's like one on top and one on the bottom, and everybody has like a different hand, like mechanic, like how you are naturally born with, and like what you naturally feel is easier for you. So I would experiment, like I said last time, we're kind of like sound experimenters, and also with our body. We can experiment about what fingerings work well for our own body and our hands. I wouldn't experiment too much and change back and forth, but once you find something that you feel like, with good reason, is a very solid fingering for you, I would stick to that fingering and keep practicing that way. But I'm happy to share which fingerings. Actually, I'll send a PDF to Miss Lolly that she can distribute to you guys, which feels good for me. Might not feel good for you, but you can see what I'm doing to practice my scale.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Jillian. Thank you so much for playing, and I loved hearing your improvements so immediately about your scales going up and down.
It was great.
Welcome.
Really fast. Thanks, Julian. All right, so we're a little bit over time, so we can pick up next time. Grace, do you have any parting comments or words? Or
my only comments is that I know we want to attain the goal really quickly of shifting seamlessly and with no slowdowns or hiccups or anything, but really do take the time to isolate your shifts slowly. And the way that I demonstrated is how I practice. I practice my scales very slow, my shifts slowly. It's like Laffy Taffy, and I pull it out until I feel really comfortable. And maybe next week I will demonstrate just going through like how I would practice a shift that I don't feel comfortable with until it makes me feel very comfortable. But I slow it down so that I feel very confident, and I slowly, incrementally speed it up. So I hope that was helpful for you guys.
I think it was super helpful. I'm so glad we got so many people to play today too. That's awesome to hear. Thank you. Yeah, thank you everybody to coming. All these classes are sponsored by the Chestnut Family Foundation. And this is part 2 of a 4-part class. So Grace will be teaching another class next week, same time, same link, on Monday, and then the week after that. And just to plug some of the classes we have coming up, let's see if I can share this. We have a talk tomorrow. I don't know if you guys can see the screen. We have a talk with some of our AMP young artists and some dancers from the area, so just youth that are involved in the arts in Atlanta. We also have a horn and bassoon class tomorrow and a clarinet class and voice class on Thursday. If you're listening to this in the future on YouTube, all these are also going to be in our YouTube account, and this class will also be on our YouTube. So thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much, Grace.
Thank you guys. Thank you everyone who played.
Yeah, it's really awesome. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.